There was a time when one job paid for a life. Not a dream, not luxury, just stability. Rent, food, time to breathe. That time did not disappear naturally. It was phased out quietly, slowly, without an announcement, and most people never noticed the moment it happened. They only noticed the result: working more, owning less, being busier, but going nowhere. If you feel like one job is no longer enough, you are not imagining it, and you are not failing. You are living inside a system that changed without telling you. This is not because people became lazy or entitled or bad with money. This happened because the rules shifted. At one point, jobs were designed to provide stability, wages, benefits, predictability. You traded time, and in return, you received security. Trade no longer exists. The job still takes your time, but it no longer guarantees safety. Health coverage became conditional. Raises stopped matching the cost of living. Schedules became flexible, which really meant unstable. Risk did not disappear. It moved away from companies and onto individuals. If something goes wrong now, it is your problem, your savings, your second job, your side hustle. This is where the illusion begins, because instead of calling this what it is, a transfer of risk, we were sold a different story: hustle freedom, multiple streams. It sounds empowering until you realize it is not optional. Side hustles did not rise because people wanted more. They rose because one income stopped. Covering less work in two jobs is no longer seen as struggle, it is framed as ambition. Being tired is no longer a warning, it is a badge in rest. Feels like irresponsibility. That psychological shift is not accidental. When survival becomes an individual responsibility, the system disappears from the conversation. No one asks why things cost more. They ask why you are not working harder. No one questions shrinking benefits. They ask why you need them. This is how pressure becomes normal, not through force, but through expectation. The job did not become worse overnight. It became thinner, less margin, less protection, less room for mistakes. And when people start drowning, they do not look up. They look inward. What am I doing wrong? Why can't I keep up? Why am I so tired? This is where burnout lies, not in laziness, but in endless effort without progress. You can work more hours than your parents and still feel behind because the finish line moved. Careers used to be ladders, now they are treadmills. Motion without advancement. The more energy you spend staying in place, the less you have left to question why. This is why hustle culture fills the gap. It gives meaning to exhaustion. It turns survival into a mindset instead of a warning. Platforms benefit companies. Benefit systems benefit because as long as you believe the problem is motivation, you will never ask about structure. You will keep optimizing yourself instead of questioning the conditions. That is the quiet genius of it. No one had to force you. Volunteered exhaustion is no longer the cost of ambition. It is the cost of staying afloat. The most dangerous part is how normal it feels. Planning weeks instead of years, hoping nothing breaks. Calculating every purchase. This is not a temporary phase. It is a new baseline, and once something becomes normal, stops being questioned. That is how standards erode, not with collapse but with adjustment. You do not notice the moment you accept less. You notice years later when life feels smaller and you cannot explain why. This is not a call to panic, and it is not a motivational speech. It is clarity, because you cannot win a game you think is fair when it is not. You do not need more discipline. You need to understand the environment you are operating in, because until you see the shift, you will keep blaming yourself for a problem that was designed to feel personal.